You want to see what a Texas liberal sheep looks like and sounds like? Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen and ladies, thank you for joining us on the political talk show where we expose the liberal left, the liberals, sheep, and we help support the news that are out there speaking the truth and people that are speaking as journalists, telling the absolute truth in the news around the world today, not throwing out liberal garbage propaganda. Let's get into it. So Texas Paul utterly shreds despicable Republic scheme as he sips MAGA tears. This guy just sounds like he's old and grumpy, but let's hear what he says.
Morning. Morning. Woke up this morning and you ever have one of those moments that just something just hits you right?
Yeah, it's called a migraine. An epiphany. Your brain's absolutely tired of having to deal with probably some of the MAGA red pill that your brain's trying to ignore, and your brain's just trying to reject it, but it can't do it fast enough. Yeah, I'm sure that's probably what you would call it.
There. And you just realize, everything becomes crystal clear. This Florida, slaves benefited from slavery.
So what he's talking about is the affirmative action bill that was basically flopped and didn't succeed. And he's mad about it. Why are you mad about it? I thought that you liberals... Never mind. I'm not even going to get into that one with you.
Curriculum that they're pushing in their schools just so clarifies everything about the conservative party.
Yeah, it does. It clarifies everything. That it tells you liberals that we're absolutely done with your lies, your BS, your sheepish, cultish ways. We're tired of you guys pushing fake narratives. We're tired of you having a certain group of community allegedly be allocated to go after our children, which is wrong. And you liberals pushing so far as to try to get your way for communism and socialism, that we're tired of it. We just don't want it no more. So, why are you mad? Just deal with it. Understand that you liberals lost. You lost the election, the alleged election. You have a president that's lost himself. He doesn't know left, right, up, down, how to ride a bike, how to not be creepy on camera or ever get caught being creepy. You guys lost. Get over it.
Just conservatives in general. I realize they have massa mentality.
Massa mentality. See, this is what the kind of left talking points do to you. When you become so infatuated with how the left think about other people, they don't even consider to treat people with respect, tolerance, love, kindness, or think about the American ways. They think about how much more can we destroy America, and how much socialism can we possibly push in America, and how we can indoctrinate our children with this socialism and LGBTQ agenda. That's what they think about.
Forever, I have heard people talk about, well, we can't teach, the truth about our history in schools because...
Whoever said you can't teach the truth in history, that's you liberals. You liberals, you leftist sheep cult followers don't want us to teach the truth. You guys want us to teach the absolute lies, which is what you guys are pushing, not us. We're trying to teach you the truth here. But you want to push the agenda so far that, well, if we teach the truth, then that's racist, or that's not the truth at all. That's just whitewashed, anti-whiteism, white vigilante type talking points that are used in everyday liberal echo chamber talking points in any conversation you have with them. And it's not going to go anywhere.
Kids will feel that. I've never felt guilt about any of that.
Now listen to this. He's going to definitely go anti-whiteism. He's going to use his anti-whiteism to the extreme.
I want the truth.
Then if you want the truth, then listen to the Republicans, listen to the conservatives, listen to Trump. Listen to those that are speaking truth. I know it's hard because a lot of politicians are going to lie. It's understandable. But if you stop listening to people that are trying to help you, direct you to the truth, then that's your own fault. That's like a doctor telling you you have an infection on your toe and you have to take antibiotics to help get rid of the infection. But you tell the doctor, no, I don't believe you. I don't believe there's an infection. I'm not going to take the pills. And when you don't listen to the doctor or take the pills, then it's going to either end up worse or you might have your toe amputated. This is what happens. This is their talking points, folks.
I want to talk about our real history. I value facts.
That's great. We all value facts. We value it to the highest. But liberals want to hide the truth. They want to hide facts. They want to hide these things because these things are what is causing problems for them to continue to delete our history by having the truth continue to be spoken out. They don't want to listen. They just want to go, that's not the truth, that's lies. They want to ignore it. Like I said, they were told, take the meds to help the foot infection. But you didn't believe that the doctor was telling you the truth. You didn't believe the doctor was 100% knowledgeable on what he was talking about. And you decided not to take the pills. So now your foot infection's worse. And who's the foot infection? Biden.
But the reason I've never felt guilt, it's not that I didn't have my white privilege. I did.
What is white? Okay, first of all, white privilege does not exist. Let me break it down to you. We will have a conversation more about what white privilege is. And we'll talk more about what it is not on another video. But white privilege does not exist. That's a anti-whiteism term. That's anti-white term. Anti-whiteism is going against whether you're another race, or another color, or even if you're white, you're going against and saying things that are pretty hateful and racist towards white people. And that's what it is. He's being basically racist towards his own race. This is what racism is really right now 100% being used by white liberals. White liberals love to use their anti-whiteism and their hate for white people and hate for any other race but their own people and their own belief and their own ideologies and their own race that believes in everything that they believe in. This is what happens. You get indoctrinated, you become a sheep, you take the sheepish pills that Biden has given you. You do nothing to do your own research, and then you become this. Basically a walking, talking old zombie.
I did. Growing up, I never flinched when I got pulled over by the police. I never.
Probably because you knew the cops. But also probably because, and we'll talk about this later, how to also, in legal terminology, not legal terminology, but in another video, we'll talk about how you deal with the cops and how you should not deal with the cops. But probably because you know how to deal with the cops. When you get pulled over, you know not to be stupid. Tell that to the 13% of the minority, or not minority, but the 13% that makes up the population of the crime rate, that have been known to commit crimes, because there are only 13% of the population per capita, and they're the ones that are the majority of them that are doing it right now. And they have been doing it. And they won't stop doing it because they don't want to stop.
Just all of it.
It has nothing to do with white privilege. If you want to look at it, black people do have black privilege. They do. Because they're allowed to say the N-word. White people aren't, right? Well, I'm going to hear probably some arguments, well, but you shouldn't say that at all. True, you shouldn't say it at all. It is derogatory, it is bad. But stop using that word. If you don't want that word to be spread around, then don't say it. If you want people to respect you, stop doing stupid things that would cause you to win stupid prizes like jail time or prison. Stop doing things that you know are wrong. Stop robbing, stop murdering, stop joining gangs, stop being drug dealers. Stop it. Be a normal citizen, for crying out loud.
That comes with white privilege.
Nothing comes with white privilege because it doesn't exist. White privilege is absolutely BS. It's lies. It's anti-whiteism. And coming from a white guy that sounds a lot like a leftist, who is kind of right now portraying himself to be a leftist, I'm not surprised that this idiot is believing in this. Because this is the mumbo jumbo that they tell you. Well, if you're white, you don't have to worry about flinching with the cops, you know. You don't gotta worry about being shot by a cop. You do realize white cops actually shoot white people at a higher rate, right? That white cops do actually shoot white people more than the black community get shot by white cops. But yet, here you are, trying to say, I got white privilege. I don't see a damn thing that you're talking about that has anything to do with white privilege. It's just got to do with the fact that you're stupid enough to believe you have it. And you're stupid enough to fall for the liberal talking points. And that's just how it is at this point.
Well, I had it, but I never identified.
You had it? Well, he must have lost his white privilege card, y'all. I think he must have lost it. Or he had to revoke it because he might have traded it in to be able to say the special word. No, but all in seriousness though, how can you say you had it? you're telling us you have it, but now you're saying you had it. That's really contradicting yourself there, my man, in so many ways.
With the oppressors.
Oh, the oppressors.
That's...
And I bet you don't even, as a person who wants the truth in history, don't even know the real truth, that the blacks enslaved themselves, the African Americans enslaved themselves, and that they're the ones killing themselves at a higher rate than white on black crime is allegedly being talked about. Because that is the truth. Blacks are going after each other at higher rates. But you can't deal with it. Because you're just a little sheep.
Not who my family was. We were plain white trash. So...
plain white trash. Man, look at you. You don't... No, your family probably came off as a family that lived society the way they should. The way that they should live their society. Not live in society by doing stupid things that would cause you to have problems. Your family was probably one of the few people that were just smart enough to know you live your life the way you should and not cause problems, you'll be A-okay.
It just became so crystal clear to me who DeSantis, putting fingers.
Look at that, he's gonna pick his nose while he's talking about DeSantis. What's next? You gonna eat the booger? Dear God. Yeah, blame DeSantis, right? DeSantis is absolutely trying to do everything he possibly can to make Florida better. And you live in Texas, so why are you whining about DeSantis when you live in Texas? That doesn't make sense. That's like me living where I live and whining about Uganda or Ukraine. Yes, I have an opinion, but why are you whining about it? You're not a victim. It's not affecting you. Yeah, it's affecting the political system of your democracy BS propaganda, but why are you whining about it?
Sees himself as. And these conservatives that are running around saying, well, we can't teach real history.
That is not what conservatives are saying at all. Conservatives are not saying, hey, we can't teach history. Conservatives are saying, yes, we should teach the real history. But we should not teach the fake history. That's what they're saying. Even a constitution like me is saying that. We should teach the real history. You liberals are teaching fake history.
Because our kids will feel bad. That tells you exactly who.
History should be taught in the appropriate academic setting, not just in every class. That is not appropriate for it. Obviously, this guy is really brainwashed and has not really taken a look at history or knows his history very well. He's just a grumpy senior that's just delusional like Biden. And like every liberal.
They think they are. They have massive mentality.
No, they don't. You do.
They think that they're the enslaver. That's who they see themselves as.
No, they don't.
The enslaver. I have never looked back.
No, they don't. But liberals do. Okay.
Back in history and identified with the enslaver. Not.
Well, of course not, because you were never part of it. You weren't there. It wasn't affecting you at any point in your life. So why should you identify one way or the other when it doesn't, when you're not back in the 150 years ago and slavery doesn't happen in the United States now? Why should you be worried about slavery now in the United States when it's not happening to you? Just like the black community saying, well, we're oppressed. What are you oppressed from? Absolutely nothing. You're whining about something that is not even affected you or any part of your life, your daily life, and you're whining, complaining, going, wah, wah, give me money, give me this, give me that, wah. Because you're a bunch of snot-nosed little babies.
Once. And it may be that my mother was Irish and, the rest of my family came from Northern Europe where slavery was not a big thing. It wasn't their ancient history, but in modern history, they were they were the anti-slave folks. They just were. And
you do realize the Irish, the Scottish, and the Germans that were Jewish, or the Jews that were in Germany were enslaved, right? Yeah, bet you didn't know that. Look up your own history, my dude. Obviously, you fail.
Folks came from up north. They did. My family's originally, when they settled, they came in through the Great Lakes and settled up in Wisconsin and Iowa.
Oh, so now you're telling me it doesn't affect you. Okay, so now you're contradicting your story. I see.
On my father's side, well, my mother's side too, but they were German and Norwegian and Danish and that.
So don't tell me that Norwegians or Danish or Germans never possibly or potentially ever owned or had slaves. Come on, don't tell me that didn't happen. I bet you if you look in your history, you'll probably find it somewhere. You may find it in there.
That's who they were. On my father's side, on my mother's side, they were 100% Irish. So maybe that's why I didn't identify with that as my cultural heritage. But it speaks volumes to who they see themselves as. Think about what's got to be inside you to say people that were not just held hostage, but were brutally beaten, abused, raped, that they benefited from that situation. And that's your point of view in the world. It explains everything about their politics and the way they do things. Look at DeSantis going after Disney. Look at DeSantis going after Bud Light. Look at the whole...
Yeah, you know why they're going after Bud Light? Because Bud Light is doing something it should not be doing. Going political. Disney should not be doing what they're doing because, well, Disney kind of is more for kids in a way. And they shouldn't be going towards kids. I have my feelings about what they're doing. They should be shut down. If you are a PDF file, yes, you should get the jail prison treatment and what comes with it. But when you talk about, this, that, and the other, and DeSantis is trying to stop this, what, you want all of this bad things to continue because you enjoy it so much? You sound more like a socialist communist dum-dum than you do an absolute 100% true blue American Texan. I'm sure a lot of people in Texas would probably say you're a disgrace.
Right-wing freakish fear.
Freakish fear. Well, you're pushing your left-wing dumb mentality on kids and adults is cultish and stupid. So, nah.
And the way they look at things. you don't do what we want, we'll hurt you.
Yeah, that sounds exactly like the liberals. That sounds exactly like what the liberals are saying. If you don't follow our rules, if you don't do what we say, if you don't do what we tell you, or believe in what we tell you, or believe in what we believe in. Yeah, that sounds exactly like the left, not the conservatives, Republicans, and constitutionalists. Dummy.
If you don't do what we want, we will hurt you.
Yeah, again, that's more of the dumb mentality like people like you that are on the left have. Not us that are not on the left. Because people like you are absolutely dumb, blind, and sheepishly following people because, well, you're just basically a blind, lost, dumb sheep that has no idea what the left have done, and you don't understand how much damage they have done to America and towards American people, but you're wanting to pretend and ignore it because, well, you get to live the old grumpy life that you live.
Trying it with Barbie today. Barbie's woke now.
Oh, so you think it's okay that movies that may or may not be directed towards, like, a kid's movie that is supposedly was once a preteen, young teen girl movie that is about Barbie and her friends should have all of these LGBTQ propaganda agendas in it? Now, you think that it should continue? Is that what I'm kind of hearing?
Oh, I guess that's the new one that Kid Rock's going to be shooting out by his lake is Barbie's.
You sound so mad. You sound so PO'd when it comes to freaking Kid Rock shooting up Bud Light. I didn't have a problem with it. Props to Kid Rock for shooting up the Bud Light. That's American.
But it's that whole massive mentality. They think that they are the plantation owner.
Nope, but that's, again, you being blind, dumb, and cultishly, sheepishly following a cult. That's like if somebody said, hey, you should follow Charles Manson. Would you follow Charles Manson? No, I bet you wouldn't, because Charles Manson, you know what he is, and if you found out what he does and what he's about, you wouldn't even follow him. Just like what if you found out all the truth about Biden and the Democrats, you would look at yourself in a whole new different way and say, ugh, I feel so disgusted with myself now knowing that I have followed this for so long.
Whereas the rest of us identify with the oppressed.
Oh, you really identify with the oppressed. Yeah, okay. Plain identifying politics and policies type game mentality does not do anything for you. Just because you are dumb enough to believe in that and dumb enough to follow it, do you really... It's like somebody telling you, stick your finger in a light socket. Would you do it? Absolutely not. Because you would be stupid to do it. You're basically putting your finger in a light socket right now at this point. You're following and doing what other people are telling you to do because you're not... I don't know if it's... Maybe I wouldn't say smart enough to know how to think for yourself, or if it's just because you've given up thinking for yourself and you want others to think for you because it's possibly easier for you to feel that way. Whichever way you choose or whichever way it is, fine. But don't complain on the internet to people about Republicans when you've gotten what you've gotten already. You should just sit there and be happy with what you have and suffer the consequences of America being screwed and Americans being screwed because we have a complete idiot in the White House.
And I know that sounds silly. Like I said, I'm a white guy that never went through any of that. I've had my white privilege, but not all.
See, there again, he's using this fake white privilege, anti-whiteism, white hate, white vigility usage of the words to try to sympathize with the certain community that's marginalizing themselves at higher rates than they should. So therefore, why are you saying anything?
All of us were like that. Not all of our families come from that history. Mine did not. And I don't.
What does it have to do with what you're talking about in today's culture and day and age? What does that have to do with today's generation at all? Nothing. You're just being virtuous. You're being stupid enough to follow the virtual signaling mentalities because you can't, again, either think for yourself, you've given up thinking for yourself because you think it's easier that the media, the liberals, politicians that lie to you are absolutely 100% telling you the truth because they lie themselves and they are very disingenuous, dishonest, and cannot be trusted by all means. So now you're just going back to, well, let's see, how stupid can I make all these Republicans feel today and conservatives feel about being the way that they are when I should feel really completely dumb for the way I feel because I follow a cult that follows a dumb leader.
See myself as one of those people. That's not what's inside me. That's not what's in my heart. And I guess that's why they can't understand me, and they're like, oh, take that hat off. You're no real Texan. Move to California, that because they see themselves on the wrong side of history.
So what is having to have somebody tell you take that hat off, move to California deal mean? What does that have anything to do with or be part of history? That doesn't have anything to do with it. It's just the fact that you are complaining like a Californian liberal and they don't see you as a real Texan, because Texans that are true Texans that know about what they stand for and their belief in what they stand for should always be that way. But you believe you have the right to believe in whatever you want, but what you believe in is kind of a California liberal, hippie, progressive mentality. That's just wrong, and you're blindly following it. I don't know, again, why, but you have that right to.
Folks, you have to get out and vote. We cannot allow people that...
Yeah, vote red. That's what he's telling you guys. Vote red. Vote red. Don't vote like this guy and vote blue. Vote red.
That think that way, see themselves that way, to rule. We can't allow them to run our country. We cannot give them power. We cannot. That's how we end up, you've got billionaires that...
Yep, that's how you got BLM to be rich. That's how you, allegedly, that's how you get, alleged Antifa type people to make more money. And yeah, just keep the rich richer and the poor poorer, right? And they keep whining and saying, well, low class, we're trying to think for the low class. No, you're not. You're thinking for the higher class. You're not thinking for the middle class and low class. You're not thinking for the people that are just not even on the high class or low class or the middle class. You're just thinking for your own group, which is the sheeps. You're another sheep that follows behind your narrative.
Or, that have Nazi memorabilia collections. And
Oh, look, I don't agree with the Nazis. I don't agree with what they did or who they were. But memorabilia, I mean, there's a lot of history museums that have historic memorabilia. Are you going to call that racist now? Dear God, we've gone from fake white privilege to I'm with the oppressed and I'm not the oppressor to from virtual signaling about that to now where allegedly if you have Nazi memorabilia and you're just only keeping that memorabilia or anything historic that is historic, you are a racist. That's what I'm hearing from this guy.
Gardens filled with despots.
God, probably in some point in your life you probably had one. Don't lie. Don't lie, bro.
From the last century, Stalin and Mao and
Yeah, there. You're naming a bunch of communist socialist leaders like Biden that are doing the same thing or did the same thing that allegedly Biden is doing. There you go. You're naming people that you should not be following.
That's why those people are spending fortunes.
What about Kim Jong-un? I forgot about Kim Jong-un. What about Rocket Man? Baby Rocket Man.
Massive fortunes to try to socially engineer our country.
To try to be better. Yeah, probably didn't think I was going to do that, did you?
So that they can still be massa.
That's what your mentality is, and that's what Biden's mentality is. That's what the left mentality is. Sorry, dude. Kind of getting owned on this. Shut up.
And we cannot let that happen. You have to vote.
No, we can't let these libtards ruin and run our lives the way that they are. This is why people like him, I think, should not be the spokesperson for any Democrat. This is the kind of disgrace that Democrats are looking at. People like this guy that are no longer thinking for themselves or allowed to think for themselves or want to think for themselves. They just allow anything and everything to go the way it is for the Democrats' way. That's pathetic.
And help us fight to get this message out. We are like-minded people.
No. A lot of people that have more brains, common sense, integrity, and respect for America and love America do not think like you. That's the anti-American way. Now you're thinking the anti-American way because you're kind of following the anti-American dictator Biden.
We believe in facts. We believe in telling our history. We believe...
Oh, wait. I gotta hear this again. Did he just say that he believes in telling facts and telling history? When has the Democrats ever been honest about the history and honest about facts? They never have. They've never been open to interpretation of history and the truth about history. They've only interpreted their own history in their own way and how they see it and how it should be played out by erasing history. That's the kind of stupid things that you see in today. Well, we should allow other people to forget about God and forget about what God has done for us, but we should bow to the black community's feet like their God and ask for forgiveness for our fake white privilege. That's exactly the mentality that the left have and have been using for years and years and years. But still today we have not learned a dang thing that this should be stopped.
That no one should endure that.
Yeah, nobody should have to endure a hold on, 7 minute and 45 minute video of you absolutely blabbering about completely nothing, pretending you know absolutely everything about history, virtual signaling, talking about your fake white privilege that doesn't exist, which is anti-whiteism, and the fact that you hate America so much that you want it to be ran by a communist, socialist leader like Stalin, Mussolini, AH, all the other, and people like Biden, and all the other Democrats that can follow suit behind Biden. You want that to happen. That's not how we want it. We don't want America to be that way.
We are brothers and sisters.
That is true. We're all brothers and sisters in the eyes of God. But don't use that as an excuse.
We are our fellow Americans. We're not.
No, you're not. I wouldn't say you're a fellow American. I would say you're not really following the American value. You hate the American value. You would probably be one of those people that would argue if I asked you, hey, should the Constitution be rewritten or shredded? You would probably say yes. Knowing people like you that think the way you are thinking right now, you definitely got that kind of mentality going.
Traitors that try to overthrow elections. We're not those people.
Nobody tried to overthrow an election. Nobody did. That was Biden. Biden cheated to do it. Biden wanted to cheat to win the alleged elections. Trump knew that it wasn't fair. So you kind of a little PO'd about it. I get it. You're a little pissed off about it. But, hey, I'm sorry. But kick rocks. Okay? Biden is a complete schmuck, traitor, a disgrace to our country. And all of the Biden family is a disgrace and a traitor to America.
Get this message out. Help us do what we do here at Midas. Help us get this message out. Reach down.
Yeah, listen to all the liberal media so that you can become a bigger sheep. This guy is such a good actor at being virtuous that it just makes me wonder how virtuous can you get? How virtuous?
Right now, hit the like button. That'll boost us on the algorithm so that people flipping through this see it. Hit the subscribe button so you can get more of this content. Thank you, folks. This is Old Texas Paul out. You have a wonderful day. Hey, Midas Mighty. Love this report?
Nope. But anyway, this is the kind of stuff we're exposing, people. These kind of liberal, lunatic, insanity termites crawling around our country and the news that are following behind them. It's sad. Anyway, you guys don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to this channel so that you guys, and hit that bell for more notifications so that you guys will not miss a video or a potential possible live stream that at some point we may do, but don't know when. But for all the rest of you, love you guys and gals. God bless you guys. And Trump 2024, baby. Let's go.